Chances are, if you own a business or ever have supervised a group of people, then you have worked with individuals who stand out and take leadership. So how do you manage those blooming leaders? Our wellness expert, Mary Hladio, with us this afternoon or this morning. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Okay, so guide me through here. The blooming leaders, it's that person, that stands out within the group?
Not necessarily stands out. We have two different advices for different groups. So we have the larger companies, and we have our props here for you.
Okay, so let's go first.
Right?
So this is a beautiful Gerber daisy.
Yes.
And this represents what?
This is for large companies. Large companies more than likely have hired potentially high effective leaders in their groups. They probably went out and sought those leaders in. And we want to go in and sort of say, okay, well, let's define what we're looking for the future. And then from that, we're going to pick the ones we want, and we're going to start to identify those leaders and assess and measure them and put them into the positions we want.
Okay, and move them up through the ranks, so to speak?
Right, and we're always assessing where they are, so we can say, okay, we got the future, here's the new leaders, are they measuring up to that future? And we're constantly sort of assessing and measuring, identifying the leaders so that we can plug them in where we want to. Because in large companies, you usually have 5, 6, 10 different leadership positions.
I do find, too, that you don't want to just settle. You may have a great 5-year run, 6-year run with leaders at the top, but if you don't have anybody waiting in the wings, the heir apparent, so to speak, you don't have a strong bench.
If you don't have a strong bench, definitely.
The company could suffer in the long term.
Yeah. And so for our small companies and medium-sized companies, this represents the fact that we may not afford to bring in the high amount of leaders into our organization.
I see no leaders.
There's nothing in. There's no leaders.
No leaders.
No. So we have to go and identify those leaders and start to plant the seeds.
Okay.
And nurture them, identify them, and involve them in the conversation. I like the idea of taking someone in an organization in a small company that you may not even think of as a leader, and say, you know what, we're going to start involving you in discussion. We're going to provide some more responsibilities to you, and ask you to kind of take on some risk.
I guess you can compare that, if you want an example, some of these upstart companies where groups come in and students just out of college get these jobs. They're somewhat glorified internships, but then you hear success stories down the road where they're owners of the company, they're partners within the organization.
We're looking for behaviors, we're looking for skills, we're looking to identify those skill sets to say this is going to take our company to the next level.
Okay. And as that person who wants, let's say I go into a company and I want to be a leader, what are a couple things I can do to get noticed by those choosing the leaders?
Number one, you can start getting involved in the conversations that are happening. Okay. What are the missions, the visions, the core values of your company? What can I do to help further the company's values, further the company's missions? Can I get involved in cost savings? Can I get involved in bringing some kind of revenue generating
Maybe break out of your own safety zone or your own position itself.
Absolutely. You do not want to be invisible. You want to be out there saying, it's time for me to step up, so you got to step up. They're not going to go looking for you. Yeah, it always makes sense and brings some new knowledge to us. It's not always so common. Mary, thanks so much. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Good to see you. 9:52 right now, and we'll be back.